Hello there guys, Aaron Chandler here for Forever Football DRFC, your Doncaster Rovers fan channel. Welcome to DRFC Daily Reports, bringing you the latest news and reports and rumours and speculations surrounding Doncaster Rovers Football Club from the news sources. We've got a couple of things to go through today. The brand new match date schedule for the Blackpool match, which is going to be in the final week of the season. We also have a story on an update which Andy Butler, the interim manager, has given us on both Jon Taylor and Josh Sims. We're also going to be looking at Reece James and the possibility, from according to the 72 wheel of the football league.com, that he could be a player that Darren Moore would want at Sheffield Wednesday. And we're going to be talking about why Reece James' debut was the right time according to Andy Butler as well. So a lot to get through today. Please like, comment, subscribe for more. Click the notification bell so you never miss the other video. We're on the road to 500 subs now. We're nearly halfway to 1,000 already in one season, which is unbelievable. So thank you very much guys for that. Keep supporting the channel and let's get straight into this. So we have to go first with this little update, this breaking update that came to me just as we started. As soon as I pressed record, I got the notification on the phone that we got the update. Now, obviously, we've got all the details officially from the club's website on this particular topic, and basically Andy Butler has come out and said that Jon Taylor will miss the League One fixture against Plymouth on Saturday. Taylor left the field 28 minutes into the win over Portsmouth with an ankle injury after the heavy collision with the Portsmouth centre-back Sean Raggett. Butler has said Tels hasn't had the result of his scan yet, so we need to have a look at that. Fortunately, we've got a strong squad and players capable of stepping in. He's not in contention for the weekend, which is a blow, but as one door closes, another one opens for someone else. That's an interesting statement. I wonder who that means. I mean, some people immediately say for Jiriok and Abiri. I would go for that as well, as also Jason Lakila would be a good option as well. And, if there's any youth that want to get involved, then maybe that's their time to shine. There is positive news from Josh Sims though. He is available for the clash on Saturday after being forced off just past the hour mark in midweek. John Jules remains the only long-term absentee as he continues to work his way back from the hamstring injury suffered it back in January. And, it's March now, so hopefully in the next couple of weeks we'll have John Jules back. But it is unfortunate news with Jon Taylor. He was a dangerous threat in that game at the start, and, it is a shame. But Okunabiri came on, did a wonderful job. He would personally be my pick to start. But we'll go all about that in my Plymouth preview, which I will share tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. But there we go. So that official update came from Rovers. Now let's have a look at some news source reports on a few different topics. Let's start off with the Blackpool Gazette confirming the brand new date for the Blackpool Rovers match at Bloomfield Road. Now, Blackpool's postponed game against Rovers will now take place on the final week of the season. So the original scheduled fixture was February 23rd, only for it to be called off due to a waterlogged pitch before kickoff. It was an hour before kickoff we officially got the news from the referee and the clubs that the match had been postponed, as we all know. Now that this was the 7th Blackpool game to be postponed in what has been a highly disruptive season for Neil Critchley's men. Now, in terms of the official date, it will be Tuesday, May the 4th at 7 p.m. Now, following the rearrangement, the Seasiders no longer have any free midweeks remaining between now and the end of the season, leaving the club in a precarious position should another postponement occur, although there might be some wriggle room prior to the Easter schedule, where Blackpool travel to Swindon Town on Friday, April 2nd, before hosting Gillingham the following Monday. So, very interesting stuff from a Blackpool point of view. From our point of view, I mean, let's have a look at the remaining games and see where this fixture puts in. So it's May the 4th, 7 p.m. kickoff. Now, obviously, this is going to be a very interesting situation. Obviously, it's going to be a very interesting end to the season now. Blackpool Doncaster will take place before the final game of the season against Peterborough at the Keepmoat Stadium. So, basically, the last 5 games of the season now will be Doncaster hosting Fleetwood on the 24th of April, away at Peterborough on the 27th of April, away at Rochdale on the 1st of May, away at Blackpool on the 4th of May, and then Doncaster versus Peterborough at the Keepmoat Stadium on the final day of the season on the 8th of May. And you know what, to be fair, I don't mind that. I don't mind that. I think with the Blackpool game, especially if we've confirmed promotion or nearly confirmed promotion, I think this is a good opportunity here to rotate a couple of players depending on the situation. So give starts to L'Aquilo, gives probably a start to Jones again, if they're going to play Balcombe against Peterborough. I think that with the goalkeeper situation, we'll go on about that with Lewis Jones' news topic from the Free Press. I think Balcombe may play the Peterborough match depending on the form, but it should be interesting. I think it should be interesting, but obviously, like I said, Blackpool confirmed to be kicking off on May the 4th, 7 p.m, and we'll hopefully get a good result at the Seaside there. Let's go in then to our next story, and this is about Reece James. Now, according to the 72 Wheel of the Football League, now this is just speculation, so do not take my word on it, but according to this article from the 72 Wheel of the Football League, .co.uk, not .com. Sheffield Wednesday's left-back woes could be solved by expiring Rovers man who Moore says has a good footballing brain. Of course, we know that Wednesday appointed Darren Moore as manager from Doncaster Rovers to Sheffield Wednesday. Obviously, they lost their first game of the season last night, 2-1 against Rotherham with a 97th minute winner from Freddie Ladapo. So well done to Rotherham and Paul Warne for that win. Unlucky Darren Moore. I think there was some issues at the back, obviously, with Sheffield Wednesday after watching that game. So, I think that Sheffield Wednesday on that retrospect will want to improve from that, and we'll see how they go for the rest of this season. But according to this report, Sheffield Wednesday sitting in 23rd in the Championship, says as much as their lack of goals have been their downfall, Wednesday have far too often been let down by their defence. Now, in terms of their left-backs, Morgan Fox left back in the summer, and since then the likes of Van Aken and Penny have shared the responsibilities. But neither impressed all that much, and so Moore may be in the market for a left-back in the summer. And it depends what kind of left-back they're going for, because of course, if they're going to go, if they're staying in the Championship, they'll want a Championship quality left-back. If they're in League One, if they're relegated to League One along with the likes of a couple of other clubs, then they're going to have to go for someone that's going to take them back up to the Championship, who could balance in those levels and improve. And what this article basically says is that, speaking to Evening Express back in December last year, Moore said of Reece James he's bang on form at the minute. This one he was Doncaster manager. His confidence is high and he's a really good utility player for the team with the number of positions he's played. He's out of contract in the summer. I'm hoping we tie him down to a new deal. He made 28 League One appearances this season, scoring 7 goals and assisting 3 goals. And maybe this article is suggesting that a move would be more likely if both Wednesday and Doncaster remain in their respective leagues, but Moore's connection with James could push the deal over the line regardless, And this is, we're not going to say that this is going to happen. I'm praying this doesn't happen, but, what's the possibility of Reece James going to Sheffield Wednesday in the summer? In my personal opinion, I don't think it's going to happen, and I don't think Rovers fans should be, worried at all. Don't panic, guys. Don't worry. It's all paper talk, in my opinion, because Reece James has slotted his place as the number 1 left back in this team, and with Danny Amos learning from him, it's going to be, his job to lead the next generation, the likes of Danny Amos and Lewis Cunningham, who's really impressed in the youth academy. So, the likes of Lewis Cunningham and Danny Amos, they're going to learn from the likes of Reece James. And it's very important we keep him in this side. So, I think with the compensation we've got from Darren Moore leaving, which is like a 6-figure sum, we're going to put that to brand new contracts, in my personal opinion. That's going to go to brand new contracts. And I'd be a massive fan of that. I'd be a massive fan because we're using the money from the compensation wisely. And, Reece James is one of those players that I want to see tied down to a brand new contract. And I think we'll do that in the summer, especially if we get promoted, because the board run this club like a dream. So I know we can keep our first team talent. We're not going to hardly get rid of anyone, or just not get rid of anyone on contracts. So in my personal opinion, Reece James is staying at Rovers, so I wouldn't worry about that. And, people can clip this and maybe in 6 months' time he goes to Sheffield Wednesday and you're like, oh, you got it wrong again. But in my personal opinion, I'm confident on this one. Finally, we're going to talk about Lewis Jones and him debuting against Portsmouth. I'm not going to lie to you, it was a very big surprise, but Andy Butler came out to the Free Press and said he felt the time was right to give Lewis Jones his league debut. And after his impressive performance on Tuesday against Portsmouth in the 2-1 win, the 22-year-old is in a position where it's his shirt to lose, according to the new Rovers boss. And I like that. I really do like that. Now, his official statement to the Free Press was that he spoke to Jez, aka Paul Gerrard, the goalkeeping coach, who was like the assistant in that Portsmouth match. And we had a conversation about it, and we both thought it was the right time. I'm not making a big deal about it. It was just a change we thought about. He then went on to say, luckily for us, it went well. Another time, it might not have gone so well. I spoke to Ellery Balcom, about it. Obviously, he wants to play in the game, but at the same time, Lewis has deserved a chance. It was the first game in charge, and I live and die by the decisions. It made that decision, and I thought Lewis stepped up. It was disappointed with the goal, but it was a scruffy one. I'm pleased we've got two good keepers pushing each other, and I want players pushing each other. I don't want anyone taking their position for granted because you don't get the best out of them. Now Lewis has to be on his toes, because if not, Ellery will come back in. And I like that from Andy Butler. I like how he's making players compete for the places. And that's what I sort of got. Now, I did watch as a neutral the game I sort of kept an eye last night on Man United's draw with Crystal Palace. And yes, they're at Premier League level. But what I saw from Manchester United in the last 15-20 minutes especially was no creativity, no urgency. And it was like seeing, 9 or 10 of that 11 players, I'd probably say Luke Shaw and Dean Henderson may be the exception. I saw 9 or 10 of those players not fighting. And it felt like Man United players were just strolling about like their positions weren't up for grabs. And that's the problem with me with a club like Man United at the minute. It feels like they've not got the talent available to push for places. Abad Diallo's a great youngster for them. One youngster that I think we should be going for on a loan deal in the summer, and this might be a far-fetched idea, but one guy I want to see given in on either a 6-month loan deal or a full-season loan deal if we're promoted this season is Shola Shoretire. If he's not going to get used in many matches for Man United next season, send him out on loan and we'll take him. Because I've spoken in the past about the rumours about the Matej Kovar deal back in the summer. Last year we spoke about that, and I said that Man United have come out and said we treat our loanees well at Doncaster Rovers. So we've got that relationship already with Man United. I would take Shola Shoretire. Apart from him and Diallo and Luke, sometimes Luke Shaw, I don't think anyone else really tried. Dean Henderson may be an exception at times as well, but apart from that, all the other players on the pitch for Man United were just not trying. They weren't giving enough energy. They weren't playing for the badge. They didn't look like they were competing for their place with another player. It felt like their positions were safe, and it's like, yeah, Leicester dropped points. I've got no one competing in my position. We're just going to stroll about for a 0-0. And yes, that's down to tactics as well from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, but, the difference is between them and us, we've got players now, like Jones and Balcom with the goalkeeping situation, they will compete for their place. Halliday's improved. James has got better and better and better. The centre-backs have greatly improved. The midfield has improved, especially with Bostock added in there. The attacking midfield with Richards and Coppinger, they've competed for position left, right and centre. That's in there. The wingers are competing for their position, and the striking position is up for grabs. Everyone's playing to make sure they don't get dropped, because they know under this manager, if they don't perform, no excuses, they're out, and they have to work their backside off to get back in the team. So that's the big difference between a Man United team with hundreds of thousands of pounds a week players strolling about thinking their position's safe, to a Doncaster team that's fighting for automatic promotion, and we're still in the hunt for automatic promotion to the Championship, and we've got players in every position fighting. That's what a football club is, not like Man United. So it's very, very interesting situation, but it's going to be a very exciting situation, no doubt. And I'm proud to see Lewis Jones get that debut. Really, really proud, because he deserves it. Because I think it's very, very evident that maybe Lewis Jones next season will be our number one goalkeeper once Balcom goes back to Brentford, and unless we don't bring in another keeper in, and. Lewis Jones will compete for that number one shirt. And in my personal opinion, I think that Lewis Jones will compete for a number one shirt next season, whether in League One or the Championship. I think Lewis Jones will end up being that number one goalkeeper at some point. And, for now at least, he's competing for his place with Balcom. And in the future, I do see him being number one. So it was the right time for Jones to come into goal. And, I really can't wait to see how this goes. So, thank you very much, guys, for watching this DRFC Daily Reports. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss another YouTube video. And for now, guys, my name is Coach Shell. Keep living the coast life, and I'll see you guys next video very, very soon. Take care. Have a Rovers day. Rovers till I die.
Rovers till I die!